The book of 2 Samuel is the second book in the Old Testament and is a continuation of the story of the Israelites, beginning with the death of King Saul and the reign of David. It is believed to have been written by the prophet Nathan, Gad, and an unknown author. The book starts with the death of King Saul and his sons in battle against the Philistines. After their death, the Israelites are left without a king, and David, who had been anointed by Samuel to be the next king, takes his rightful place on the throne. David, who was a young shepherd boy, quickly becomes a beloved and successful king, leading the Israelites to many victories against their enemies. One of the first things David does as king is to conquer the city of Jerusalem, previously held by the Jebusites. This becomes the new capital of Israel and is known as the City of David. David also brings the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, showing his desire to maintain a strong relationship with God. He then makes plans to build a temple in Jerusalem, but God tells him that it is not his job to build the temple, as he has been a man of war and bloodshed. Instead, David's son Solomon will build a magnificent temple in the future. David is known for his incredible military victories, and his reign is marked by both triumphs and challenges. He defeats the Philistines, Moabites, Ammonites, and other neighboring nations, establishing a powerful and prosperous kingdom. However, with great power comes great temptation, and David's greatest downfall is his affair with Bathsheba, the wife of one of his loyal soldiers, Uriah. David's affair with Bathsheba leads him to commit another heinous act, the murder of Uriah. He orders Uriah to be placed in the forefront of a battleground and then abandoned to die, making it look like he was killed in battle. After Uriah's death, David takes Bathsheba as his wife, and she bears him a son. The prophet Nathan confronts David about his sin, and David repents, acknowledging his wrongdoing. He is punished by God, as his son with Bathsheba dies shortly after his birth. Nathan also prophesies that the sword will never depart from David's house, and that turmoil and betrayal will arise among his sons. True to Nathan's prophecies, David's other sons also cause him trouble. Amnon, David's firstborn, rapes his half-sister Tamar, leading to Absalom, Tamar's brother, killing Amnon in revenge. Absalom then rebels against David, trying to take his throne. While David flees Jerusalem, Absalom seeks counsel from Ahithophel and his father's counselor, but ultimately rejects his advice and follows that of his own people. During the rebellion, Absalom takes over the city of Jerusalem, forcing David to flee further. The people of Israel are divided, with some remaining loyal to David, while others support Absalom. Ahithophel advises Absalom to sleep with David's concubines in public and thus cement his hold on the throne. However, at the suggestion of Hushai, another counselor, Absalom takes on a different strategy. Both Hushai and Ahithophel's plans show up at the same time, and Absalom foolishly takes Ahithophel's advice and is eventually defeated by David's forces. The rebellion ends with Absalom's death, and his supporters are killed or scattered. David, now victorious, returns to Jerusalem to reclaim his throne and rule over Israel once again. His reign continues to see successes, such as defeating the Ammonites and securing a peace treaty with the Syrians. As David grows old, he faces more challenges within his own family. Adonijah, one of his sons, proclaims himself king without David's consent, but his plot is thwarted by the prophet Nathan. Instead, David's son Solomon is proclaimed king and anointed in front of all the people. David gives his final instructions to Solomon, encouraging him to obey God's commandments and seek wisdom. He also instructs Solomon to execute those who were disloyal to him, such as Joab, who had betrayed David, to join Absalom in the rebellion. Following David's death, Solomon takes the throne and consolidates his rule by executing those who opposed him, including his brother Adonijah and his general, Joab. He also consolidates his alliance with Egypt by marrying the Pharaoh's daughter. Under Solomon's rule, Israel reaches its peak of prosperity, and the construction of the temple in Jerusalem marks a pivotal moment in their history. In the end, the book of 2 Samuel showcases the rise and fall of David, a flawed but faithful king, and the establishment of a powerful and prosperous kingdom in Israel. It also serves as a reminder of the consequences of sin and the importance of remaining faithful to God's commandments.